This is a session of ultrasonic micromachining. If you are here for just to know how ultrasonic machining works, please refer to this link which is shown. Now, this session deals with ultrasonic micromachining, which means using the ultrasonic machining on microns level. A micron is 10 raised to 6th part of meter, which is very small. To get a general idea, our hair is 17 micron in diameter, 70. So 1 micron is very small, like machining the dust particles out of a metal. Okay, so it differs on so many levels on normal machining processes in tool size and equipments used and workpieces. Basically, the pattern we make are very small. So let's go here. This video explains the principal, instruments working, and cause effect diagram, applications, and compares the ultrasonic machining with ultrasonic micromachining. The principle of ultrasonic micromachining is similar to ultrasonic machining. We have a desired shape tool because the tool's shape is mirrored on the workpiece. So whatever type of groove you want to cut, that shape of tool is mirrored on the tool head. It vibrates at an ultrasonic frequency of 220 to 40 kilohertz, and its amplitude of vibration is very small, that is in few microns. Your naked eye cannot detect it. Also, the machining zone is flooded with hard abrasive slurry, which is water based. The microns particles, which are abrasive particles, they can be in the size of zero point 0.5 to 5 microns. The material removal is basically by the impact of the tool in combination with abrasive slurry, that causes localized fatigue, crack initiation, propagation, and brittle fracture of the surface material of the workpiece. This causes the material particle to remove with the slurry, and hence we get a machine surface. Obviously, the vibration transferred are from tool head, hence the tool head's shape is mirrored on the workpiece. This process is usually used for hard and brittle materials like glass or quartz or precious stones, etc. Now let's see the instrumentation used for ultrasonic micromachining. This is quite similar to USM. In the standard setup, firstly we have a power supply along with oscillator, which is used for converting the low frequency electrical signal to the high frequency electrical signal. This was also provided with the feed or servo control for vertical motion of the tool holder and tool material. The power supply is connected to the transducer, which is basically magnetostrictive type, which converts the high frequency electrical energy from the oscillator to the vibrations, that is in mechanical energy. The next part is horn or sonotrode. It is also called as tool holder, whose basic function is to concentrate the vibration produced by a transducer and provide them to tool. It is usually made up of tough materials like monel, titanium, or stainless steel. This brings us to tool. The tool is usually approximate mirror image of the cavity we required on the workpiece. It is made up of soft, ductile, and hard materials, for example, brass and soft steels. The slurry, which is flooded in the on the workpiece, is stored in a slurry tank, which is supplied to the workpiece using a pump which pressurizes it and gives it a certain velocity. The abrasive particles normally used here are Al2O3, silicon carbide, boron carbide, or diamond powder. The workpieces which are machined in USM are usually ceramics, carbides, glass, precious stones, and hardened steel, which are all hard and brittle materials. As for the working of this instrumentation, it is quite simple. The power supply is provided with the low frequency electrical energy, which is converted to high frequency by it. It is provided to transducer, which is used for converting one form of energy, that is electrical energy, into mechanical energy, vibrational energy. That is provided to horn or sonotrode, which concentrates it further and provides it to tool. So tool vibrates to and fro or up and down, and the workpiece is flooded with abrasive slurry. This action together, the abrasive slurry and tool vibration, causes the workpiece to machine in an exact mirror image of the tool provided. That is for the working of this setup. Now for the comparison between ultrasonic machining and ultrasonic micromachining, we are going to consider some of the parameters. This is the list of the parameter. The first is abrasive particle size, which is up to 50 to 300 microns in ultrasonic machining, where it is very small in ultrasonic micromachining as the machining required is small in dimension. So it is 0.5 to 15 microns. The tool or the feature size of the USM is greater than 1 mm, whereas in USMM it is smaller, that is 0.5 mm. The static load is measured in usually kg force, whereas in micromachining it is in gram force. The vibrational frequency are the same. It is both are greater than 20 kilohertz as it is in ultrasonic machining. The major difference can also be stated that in ultrasonic micromachining, the vibrations can be imparted on the both tool and workpiece, whereas in USM it is only on the tool. The amplitude of vibration also differs. It is larger, that is 8 to 30 microns in USM, whereas in micromachining it is 0.5 to 5 microns. Also, the workpiece thickness is larger in USM, which is 50 mm, and USMM, as it is a micromachining, it is less than 3 mm. So that are the major parameters where the ultrasonic micromachining differs from the standard ultrasonic machining process. We will discuss the cause effect diagram of ultrasonic micromachining now. It is the best tool to learn how different parameters or process parameters affects the final performance characteristic of machining. So in this diagram, the final output is performance characteristics. And for ultrasonic micromachining, we have considered the four aspects of machining which affect the final output. The first is tool, then workpiece, then machine, and abrasive slurry. So each of these aspects are related with the parameters which affect the final performance characteristics of the process. As for the tool, the geometry of the tool finish, size and shape of the tool, and material of the tool affects the final output. Then for the workpiece, thickness of workpiece, material of workpiece, hardness, and strength of the workpiece matters. For machine, the power input and the static load applied and the frequency at which the ultrasonic tool operates, that affects the final performance. And abrasive slurry, the type of abrasive, the grid size used in this abrasive, the liquid medium, whether the slurry is water based or not, the pressure applied to this slurry using pump, the concentration of particles, the temperature of the slurry, and feeding mechanism of the slurry. These all parameters affect the final finish and performance of the machine. Now let us see this from the point of view of performance characteristic. First we will consider accuracy. Accuracy in terms of out of roundness and conicity greatly depends upon the geometry of the tool, the size of the abrasive particles, and static load applied by the machining. Also, it depends upon the hardness of the workpiece material significantly. The second characteristic which we are going to consider is MRR, material removal rate. The type and size of abrasive particles affect the MRR significantly. The machining rate increases obviously with the size of abrasive particles, and it also increases with the increase in static load, as static load tends to increase the pressure on abrasive grains, but there is an optimum value of static load beyond which MRR decreases, so it is kept in certain range. Also, there is an extra factor, that is rotation of tool, which helps the material removal rate. It is commonly observed that if the rotating tool or the rotation is applied to the tool, the higher MRR is achievable. The next parameter we are going to consider is tool wear. The tool wear is affected by the type of the abrasive we are using in comparison with the size and shape as well as material of the tool, also the geometry of the tool used. If there are sharp contours, the tool wear is obvious and maximum. The next characteristic is surface finish. It is greatly affected by both type and size of the abrasive particle. In general, the lower value of surface roughness is obtained when the smaller size of abrasive particles are used due to the smaller craters produced in machining. It is also affected by the all parameters related to abrasive slurry like pressure, concentration, liquid medium used for slurry, and feeding mechanism used. So abrasive slurry mainly affects the surface finish. So this is it for cause effect diagram of ultrasonic micromachining, which is basically analysis of how the performance characteristics or the final machining output varies with the different aspects of the input provided to the machining and different settings of the input. Now we will see the applications of ultrasonic micromachining. It is used for hard and brittle material, as we have seen glass, quartz, and precious stone. It is used when we have to drill square, triangular, or circular micro-sized hole. The quartz or silicon plate holes up to 20 microns can be drilled using this. Also, blind hole drilling using USM is quite beneficial up to the depth and accuracy of 10 microns. This ensures there is a high aspect ratio micro holes of requirement in your workpieces. High aspect ratio holes means whose length is more in ratio with the diameter, that is its length to diameter ratio is quite high. Then it is also used for creating microchannels and cavities on complex shaped workpieces. These are some general application. USM finds application in variety of sectors, which ranges from aerospace, manufacturing, automobiles, electronics, small transistor devices to cosmetic sectors. So this is it for ultrasonic micromachining. Hope you enjoyed this session and thank you for watching this.